If you don't present some sort of excellence, like for example your grades, someone else will receive the spot at your desired university or for your desired career because the best options don't have enough spots for anyone interested in them. So either you perform better than the others on the selection criteria for your desired spot, or you just don't get chosen. I already mentioned a few times in my videos that I find that school isn't competitive. Yeah, because no one forces you to get to your limits. No one forces you to work hard. Yeah, you decide for yourself how hard you work, how much effort you put in, and in the end, most students get through. For example, in my year, I think there were only 2 or 3 people who did not get the high school diploma at the end. And um, the reward for putting in more effort than the average person is very unclear for a typical student, I would say. And you might even look at people who put in more effort into studying than you, and you ask yourself, why are they stressing so much? Yeah, I binge watch Netflix series, I play video games, I sleep after school. Why aren't they enjoying their lives? I do, you know? And honestly, I understand that thought because I was like that. Yeah. And in during that age, the reward for the effort you put in is kind of invincible. Yeah. And that's why I would say such a low number of people try to put in more effort into school. And you might also have the mindset that there are only a few subjects where very good grades are required, and for the rest, you don't need them. For example, like medicine or in Germany, psychology is very competitive, very difficult to get in. You think, yeah, I don't want to study that. Thus, I, I don't need the grades. Yeah, that might be your mindset, and that's why you allow yourself to just put in the bare minimum. Yeah, and I, for example, thankfully I had kind of good grades, but I was putting in the bare minimum uh, on effort, in effort, and I could have done so much better, and have I could have had even cooler opportunities open to me. Yeah, and that's why I'm talking about that. And what you have to realize is that life after school for an ambitious person becomes very selective. Yeah, let that thing sink in. This is very important. And what I've realized over the years is that the moment you want the best options in basically any field, you will enter a selection process. Okay. And this means, selection process means that not everyone will get in, not everyone will actually get the spot. Yeah. And either you are selected, yeah, or someone else received the opportunity that you actually wanted. And the reason is because you aren't the only one who wants the best option in this particular field. Everyone basically wants it, yeah? And either you are selected or you aren't. That's the hard truth of life that I had to learn because I wasn't selected for options that I wanted, yeah? And I used to think that, as I already mentioned, that you only need excellent grades for specific subjects, specific degrees. But what I found out is that, for example, in the field I was interested in business, also the very good business schools, have very strict admission criteria. For example, from the data I found, my university accepts only 9% of applicants. Let that sink in. Only 9%. Do you know how little that number is? Just 9%. And from what I found, thousands of people apply for my university degree. I studied at one of Germany's leading universities for business. Yeah, and only 9% get accepted, which means either you perform on the selection criteria or you're out. Very simple. Yeah. And another thing that I thought about in this context is that basically every field has this kind of selection. Yeah, for example, if you want to work on a major movie production or with a major uh, like filmmaker, like James Cameron, for example, let's say like the greatest filmmaker. Yeah, nobody cares that you are simply interested in movies and that you like movies so much and that you, um, I don't know, are so passionate about it. No one cares. Either you can prove that you're very good, you can show excellence, or you're out. Yeah. Or for example, if you want to work with a top musician, imagine you would have wanted to be on the team of Michael Jackson. Yeah, and to tour the world. Yeah. Do you think he would admit anyone who just is passionate about music and can dance a bit? Nobody cares that you have like the love for this project. Yeah, they want to see skill, discipline, and your performance. Yeah, and the same applies also to a top football club. Yeah, they they care about your performance on the field, on the pitch. Yeah, and the same also in the corporate or in the business context. Yeah, if you would want to join one of the leading companies like McKinsey or BCG or Bain, yeah, they care about your academic performance, your problem solving ability, your internships, yeah, your leadership potential, things like that. And in almost any field, there are top institutions, teams, or top companies that are seen as the best in their fields. Yeah, in football, it might be something like Barcelona, the club of Barcelona, or Real Madrid. In businesses, it might be a company like McKinsey or BCG, as I said. Or in acting, it might be musical acting, it might be stage entertainment. Yeah, and academia, it might be universities like Harvard, Stanford, Cambridge. Yeah, and those are just examples. But the point is that most attractive places usually have more people who want to be part of them, yeah, than they have spots available. And either you are somehow unique, for example, through your excellent grades, which usually is just one of the components, but it is one of the first and very important components that people are selected by, for example, in certain institutions. Yeah, either you can demonstrate that or you can't. So either you are selected or you aren't. Yeah, and this is why it's so important, because if you don't know that and you think, as I outlined before, that I can do the bare minimum, I will receive the diploma anyway, you won't be selected usually for the best options that might be very exciting to you. Yeah, and of course, every field has its own currency of success or of excellence. This is what I already said. So in sports, it might be performance. In music, it might be skill. Yeah, in film, it might be your portfolio or certain other experience. So it's not only, but it's not only about grades, obviously. Yeah, and but for example, in academia and other in and early career paths, yeah, it's often your grades and your achievements and internships, yeah. And this is why I would say, um, if you're ambitious and, for example, you don't exactly know what you want to do, it really makes sense to double down on the grades, because they will just support you getting the options you maybe don't know that you even want yet, but might end up wanting in the future. Yeah, and they are basically your first performance marker, yeah, that you can show, and they are usually one of the first signals, yeah, that you can commit to something, that you can work hard, yeah, that you can perform under pressure, because, for example, the A levels exams in Germany are quite difficult, and you have to perform under pressure and deliver results, and um, even if they don't matter for every field, as I already said, they are still um, an important performance marker, because they show that you can deliver results, yeah, and that you strive for excellence. Yeah, this is what, for example, high performers, like successful people in and other fields are also looking for. Yes, someone who strives for excellence. Yeah, and even if you're interested in a field where grades do not matter that much, you can train yourself through achieving constantly good grades to aim high and improve and deliver, and just become someone who strives for excellence, which will make it easier for you to strive for excellence also in other fields. Yeah, that's why I would say it makes sense. And if you're interested in the transformation from someone who is ambitious but doesn't yet know how to use this ambition or what options to pursue after school, to someone who uses school as a launch pad, yeah, and plans the next steps after graduation intentionally with the goal to maximize interesting career opportunities, yeah, to maximize cool experiences and also build a network of very ambitious people. Check out the live setup operating course. It's the first link in the description, and I'm excited to welcome you there. Now, to another part that is important is let's speak about research. What is interesting in regard of your high school grades is that there are studies, yeah, showing that, for example, high school grades are connected to later outcomes, for example, like your job performance. Yeah? And some research even suggests that high school grades can predict later outcomes. Yeah? Surprisingly well in regard of job performance, even better than later academic degrees, like for example a bachelor's degree. Yeah, and this might be one of the reasons why some very selective companies like McKinsey or Boston, etc., still ask for the high school diploma of their applicants. Yeah, because there is a correlation between job performance um, and your GPA, or very good job performance, and your high school GPA, which I assume might be one of the reasons they want to see it. Yeah, and this is, for example, also something I didn't know. And my high school grades are good, but they aren't top, and that's why, for example, I think if I would apply to one of these very selective companies, um, they wouldn't be so happy to see that, to be honest. And I mean, of course, I want to make clear, grades aren't the only form of excellence, yeah, and they don't prove your creativity, your courage, or your character that well, yeah. Grades themselves aren't an like excellence; they are a signal of it, yeah. They're a signal of excellence, and um, I want to make that clear that it's just one form of excellence, and the goal for you should be just to use them as a tool, yeah, to maximize your signaling and the options available to you, yeah. So the deeper lesson is don't work hard because school is everything, and you should forget to have a life and just work hard. Work hard because you are aiming to build the habit um, of being excellent in something, yeah, and this habit will be needed when you want to win selection processes that you, for sure, if you are ambitious, will go through. Yeah, and as I already said, good grades keep doors open that you don't even know that you might want in the future. So um, that that's why I really encourage you, put in more effort, become excellent. Yeah, use the signaling effect, and then open doors that you are excited about. Yeah, this is about it for this video. I'm excited to welcome you in the next one. Check out the video on my biggest regret about school. I think it might be very useful for you. And check out the first link in the description, the live setup course. Excited to welcome you there. Goodbye.